Someone you trusted told you to just pray about it. Maybe it was a pastor after you finally worked up the courage to confess. Maybe it was a small group leader who didn't know what else to say. Maybe it was a YouTube video that sounded convincing at 2 a.m., and you believed them. Of course you did. It sounded right. It sounded holy. Pray more, and God will take the desire away. So you prayed. You prayed hard. You prayed with tears running down your face and your fists clenched, and every ounce of sincerity you had. And for a while, you felt better, like something shifted. But then the temptation came back, and you fell. So you prayed again, harder this time, more desperate, and you fell again, and again, and again, until eventually you stopped blaming the sin and started blaming yourself. My prayers aren't working. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe God doesn't hear me. Maybe I'm too far gone. But can I tell you something? Your prayers were never the problem. The advice was, here's what nobody warned you about. When someone tells you to just pray about it and that's all they give you, they're not equipping you. They're setting you up for a cycle that will destroy your faith from the inside out. And the cycle goes like this. You sin, you feel awful, you pray, you feel relief, you go a few days clean and think it's working. Then temptation hits and you fall. So you pray again, but this time it feels weaker. Like you're saying the same words into a ceiling that's getting lower. You fall again. You pray again, fall, pray, fall. And every single lap around this cycle drills one message deeper and deeper into your head. God isn't answering me, and that's where the real damage starts. Because now it's not just a lust problem, it's a faith problem. You went from struggling with sin to questioning whether God even cares. You stopped praying about other things too, not just lust, everything. Because if He won't answer this prayer, why would He answer any of them? One piece of bad advice didn't just keep you stuck in sin, it started killing your entire relationship with God. And all because someone handed you one tool and told you it was the whole toolbox. And here's what actually happened, even though nobody meant for it to. You turned prayer into a vending machine. Insert prayer, receive freedom. Press the button hard enough, often enough, sincerely enough, and eventually the product drops. But when it doesn't drop, you don't kick the machine. You kick yourself. I must not be inserting it right. I must not have enough faith. And I fell into this exact trap for years. I treated prayer like it was spiritual aspirin. I had a lust headache, I'd pop a prayer, and I'd wait for the pain to go away. And sometimes it dulled the pain for a bit, but it never cured anything. Because aspirin was never designed to cure the disease. It just masks the symptoms. And prayer was never designed to be the only thing you do about lust. It was designed to be the first thing. There's a massive difference. Because here's what drives me crazy. The Bible does not say just pray about it. Go look. You won't find it. What the Bible actually says about lust is way more aggressive than that. 1 Corinthians 6:18 doesn't say pray about sexual immorality. It says flee, run, get out of there. That's an action verb. That's feet moving, phone going in the other room, browser getting deleted, that conversation getting cut off. Prayer doesn't flee for you. You have to move. James 5:16 says, confess your sins to each other and pray for each other so that you may be healed. Notice that? It doesn't say confess to God alone in your room and white knuckle it. It says confess to each other, to another human being, out loud, because God wired healing to happen in the open, not in isolation. In Genesis 2:18, all the way back in the garden, God looked at man and said, it is not good for man to be alone. That wasn't about marriage. That was about design. You were never built to carry this by yourself. Ephesians 6:11 says, put on the full armor of God. Full, not one piece, full armor. That means there are multiple pieces you need to be wearing before the battle even starts. And here's the kicker. 1 Corinthians 10:13 says, God will provide a way out when you're tempted. A way out, not a feeling of peace, not a magical removal of desire. A way out, an exit door, a practical, real, physical escape route. But you have to take it. God opens the door. You have to walk through it. So let me ask you something. Did anyone ever tell you about the door, or did they just tell you to pray? I need to be really clear about something. I'm not saying prayer doesn't matter. If you take that away from this video, you miss the whole point. Prayer is essential, but prayer is not the weapon. Prayer is the war room. It's where you go to talk to your commander before the battle. It's where you say, God, I can't see the exit door. Show me where it is. It's where you say, I don't have the guts to confess this to someone. Give me the courage. It's where you say, I don't know how to flee because the temptation is in my pocket 24/7. So teach me. That's prayer, not a vending machine button. A war room conversation. And the problem with just pray about it is that it puts you in the war room and tells you to stay there while the battle rages outside. But God didn't build you a war room so you could hide in it. He built it so you could plan your fight and then go fight it. And you want to know what makes this even better? Hebrews 4:15-16 says that Jesus himself was tempted in every way that we are, yet he didn't sin. And because of that, we can approach God's throne of grace with confidence. Not with shame, not with fear, with confidence. That means when you walk into the war room, you're not walking in to beg a God who's disgusted by you. You're walking in to talk to someone who has literally been where you are. He knows what temptation feels like. He's not rolling his eyes at you. He's not surprised. And he's not handing you a single aspirin and saying good luck. He's handing you an arsenal and saying, let me show you how to use every piece of it. So if you've been stuck in that pray and fall cycle, if you've been beating yourself up because your prayers don't seem to be working, stop. Your prayers were working. You just weren't given the rest of the plan. And the real prayer, the one that actually starts to change things, it doesn't sound like, God, take this away from me. It sounds more like this. God, I've been fighting this with one hand and pretending the other one doesn't exist. I'm done doing this alone. Show me who to talk to. Show me what to flee from. Show me the door you already opened that I've been too proud or too scared to walk through. That's not a weaker prayer. That's the most dangerous prayer you'll ever pray. Because that's the prayer where you stop asking God to do everything for you and start asking him to fight alongside you. And that's when things actually start to change. So, no, don't just pray about it. Pray, then get up and move. God already gave you everything you need to fight this. It's time you started using it.